In the high-stakes theater of global fame, success is often painted as the ultimate American dream. We see the private jets, the diamond-encrusted chains, and the sold-out stadiums with 60,000 people screaming a single name in unison. But in the digital age, the bigger the shadow an artist casts, the darker the questions become. For the last several years, one man has stood at the absolute epicenter of the most intense, chilling, and persistent theories in the history of the internet. His concerts don't feel like musical performances. They feel like ancient, surreal rituals. His visuals are a chaotic blur of fire, dystopian imagery, and mechanical terror. And his ascent to the absolute peak of the mountain happened with a mechanical precision that left many wondering if there was a hidden hand guiding his rise. That man is Jacques Webster, known to the world as Travis Scott. But behind the global brand deals and the chart-topping hits, a haunting question continues to pulse through the veins of social media. A question asked by millions, analyzed in frame-by-frame breakdowns, and whispered in the corners of every comment section. Did he sell his soul for fame? Now, before jumping to the supernatural, we have to look at the structural. To understand the sold his soul narrative, you have to understand the man who built the machine. Because the truth is often far more complicated, and perhaps more calculated than a viral thread makes it seem. Long before the Astroworld gates opened, Travis Scott was a kid in Houston, Texas, obsessed with the architecture of sound. He wasn't just a rapper. He was a fan of the experience. He grew up in a household where music was the foundation. His father was a soul musician, his grandfather a jazz composer. The DNA of creativity was there, but the path to the top was paved with desperation. Travis famously dropped out of college, a move that led his parents to cut him off financially. He moved to Los Angeles with nothing but a laptop and a vision. This is the era of the story that fuels the bargain theory. For a long time, nothing worked. He was sleeping on couches, getting kicked out of apartments, and struggling to find a signature sound. In the industry, this is known as the dark night of the soul, the moment where an artist either vanishes into obscurity or undergoes a radical transformation. Travis chose transformation. He didn't just find a sound. He found a frequency, a dark, atmospheric, cinematic style of trap music that felt like a descent into a psychedelic underworld. It caught the ear of T.I., but more importantly, it caught the eye of the ultimate industry disruptor, Kanye West. Under Kanye's mentorship, Travis didn't just learn how to produce. He learned how to build a world. He became the architect of his own life, curating sounds that felt larger than music. This is where the aesthetic of the rage was born. He stopped looking like a traditional rapper and started looking like a rock star from a dystopian future. In 2018, Travis released Astroworld. It wasn't just an album. It was a cultural takeover. The marketing was genius. Massive gold inflatable heads of Travis Scott appeared on top of record stores and landmarks across the country. To enter the store, you had to walk through his mouth. Critics called it brilliant branding. Online theorists called it symbolic ingestion. This is where the theories began to take a dark turn. Fans started noticing a consistent thread of imagery in Travis's work: inverted crosses, all-seeing eyes, and themes of the portal. In his music videos, he was often depicted descending into the earth or being reborn in fire. The internet began to ask, why this specific imagery? Why is every concert framed as an entrance to another dimension? Travis Scott's defense has always been that he is a fan of high art and dark cinema. He cites avant-garde directors as his inspiration. To him, it was about the aesthetic of the edge. He wanted his fans, his raggers, to feel a level of intensity that was missing from modern pop music. He wanted the ground to shake. He wanted the crowd to become a single pulsing organism. But rage culture has a cost. For years, Travis encouraged his fans to bypass security and to lose control. It was his brand. It was the soul of the show. But on November 5th, 2021, the energy he spent a decade cultivating turned into a nightmare. During the Astroworld Festival in Houston, a massive crowd surge led to the deaths of 10 people and hundreds of injuries. As the news broke, the internet didn't just look at the police reports. They looked at the stage. The stage was shaped like a portal. The entrance to the festival was a giant mouth with the words, "See you on the other side." For the theorists, this wasn't an accident. They began to claim that the event was a ritual, a narrative designed to solidify his status at the top of the pyramid. But it is important to separate fact from the folklore of the web. The music industry loves a God complex. From Michael Jackson to Beyoncé, the biggest stars have always utilized mysterious imagery to create a sense of importance. It's a marketing tactic as old as time. If you make people believe there is something supernatural about you, they will pay any price to be in your presence. Travis Scott is a master of this dark marketing. He partnered with global brands, creating a presence that was unavoidable. He became a mogul by selling an image of controlled chaos. But the soul of an artist is often sold in smaller increments than a grand ritual. It's sold in the boardroom. It's sold when the persona of the rager becomes more important than the human beings in the front row. The tragedy at Astroworld didn't prove that Travis Scott was a high priest. It proved that he had become a victim of his own machine. He had built a brand based on no rules, and when the rules were finally broken, the consequences were devastating. Today, the story of Travis Scott exists in two parallel universes. In the first universe, the world of business, he is a survivor. He has returned to the charts. He is still selling out arenas, and his influence is undeniable. He is a kid from Houston who worked his way to become the most important curator of his generation. In the second universe, the world of deep dives and theories, he is a cautionary tale. He is the man who played with fire and got burned. He is the symbol of an industry that values the spectacle over the human soul. The truth lies somewhere in the middle. Travis Scott didn't necessarily sell his soul to a supernatural entity. He did something much more common. He traded his privacy and his safety for the ultimate prize of total attention. In a world driven by the algorithm, attention is the only currency that matters. And Travis Scott knows how to get it better than almost anyone alive. He creates confusion. He creates curiosity. He creates fear. And as long as you are talking about him, whether you are praising his production or analyzing his stage for hidden symbols, he is winning. The story of Travis Scott isn't just about a rapper. It's a reflection of us. It's about our obsession with the dark, our need to find patterns in chaos, and our willingness to participate in the rage until the lights go out. Whether you believe the theories or the talent, one thing is certain. Travis Scott has built an empire that isn't going anywhere. But as he continues to perform on the other side of the portal, the world will always be watching, waiting to see what the machine demands next. Because in the world of the ultra-famous, the price of the throne is never just paid in money. It's paid in the stories we tell about you long after the music stops.